but like the fact that the movie's called The Banger Sisters, the movie should be about the relationship between Susan Sarandon and Goldie Hawn and getting kind of deep on what went on between them and how they feel about themselves, how they perceive themselves. And instead, a big chunk of screen time is just about Goldie Hawn being a manic pixie dream girl to Jeffrey Rush's character, who is a depressed, failed screenwriter who used to be very successful, who has come to Phoenix with a gun to kill his dad. And it's just like, wow, you're digging real deep, Mr. Dolman, for this stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I want to be explicit in saying part of my excitement for wanting to see this movie was like, hell yeah, give me a sex-positive movie, R-rated comedy about a female friendship. I'm in for that. I want to see Goldie Hawn and Susan Sarandon be raunchy. I don't mind them wanting to give handjobs, but I want it to be through the lens of their experience, their past relationships, not let's have Jeffrey Rush lie in a bed like a hot dog and get his
go on.
Job. I'm not even going to describe it worse than that. Get his hand job.
Get his hand all jobbed. Yes.
Do you think there's a sex comedy in here?
Like that there could have been one, or that there is one.
That there is one.
I mean,
because you talked about like them all agreeing to like we want to sex this thing up. Do you think there's enough of that in here?
Well, no, I don't. At first, when the movie was getting started, I was kind of surprised at how horny it was. Like, one of the first scenes, she's gotten fired from her job at the Whiskey A Go-Go because she sucks at her job. She's been mouthing off to her boss and drinking on the job as a bartender, which you don't do that. But she goes outside and she sees one of the members from the band that had been playing that night sitting in his car, and she goes over to talk to him, and then a woman's head comes up from giving him a blowjob, and it's like, oh.
Yeah. Well, she looks at him as if she's gonna go, like, make her play on him. Like, I'm gonna get my rocks off tonight, and he's making eye contact with her, and turns out no.
Those rocks are already being gotten.
Yeah, exactly. And not just any band member. This is LA band Buck Cherry. If you existed in 2002, my God. You knew Buck Cherry. In a dearth of good rock and roll music, the best we got was Buck Cherry.
I mean, do you think that the lead singer like waived his appearance fee because it's like you get to be seen to be getting a blowjob in a way that gives the main character a crisis of confidence?
Another quote from the audio commentary I knew we were in trouble was Bob Dolman going, We landed on Buck Cherry as our LA band because we wanted a lead singer that not only knew how to perform on stage, but that could also act because he's coming up in a scene where we needed him to act. And I'm like, did you delete that scene, or are you talking about when he's getting a blowjob? Then the blowjob scene comes up and goes, here's this big scene let's watch. And he goes silent for like a minute and a half, and he goes, oh, sorry, this is an audio commentary. I'm supposed to be talking. I just got wrapped up in the scene we were watching. Like, he was fucking getting a blowjob. What's the scene, man?
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I feel like also he seems pretty uninterested in what's happening to him. He's just sort of sitting there with a blank face, looking out at traffic. I mean, so unless there's a lot of interiority to that character that he crafted, I don't know. I think that this like. So going into it with scenes like that, I'm like, oh, okay, there's like, this is not going to be a totally PG-13 situation. I mean, obviously it's rated R. But so I thought, okay, this is going to be a sex comedy. But then as the movie goes on, it's kind of just, they kind of talk generally about sex or do some kind of euphemistic references to sex in sort of a Cheers episode way when she like talks a lot about giving Jeffrey Rush a hand job, and then
so much hand job talk.
I don't know. Is it implied that what winds up happening between them is more than a hand job? She like gets on top of him, and then we fade to black in a very PG-13 movie kind of way.
Yeah, this movie is PG-13.
but then late in the movie we see they flash a Polaroid to the camera of a man's penis, like a full on. This I think the first
like a split second, but yes.
It's suddenly like, oh wow, full frontal male nudity. I was not expecting that so late in the movie. So it's got like remnants of sex comedy around it, but whenever actual sex is happening, it's off to the side, and there's no real engagement with like, what does the sex mean to Goldie Hawn? Why is she still following it? What's she really looking for?
Subscribe to Movie Memory Machine for new forgotten movies every other Friday, available wherever you listen to podcasts.